All right, welcome back to the channel. I'm Viper, and today let's talk about, is your children safe in VR? Before we get started, if you could be so kind to hit that like button right there, it really helps out the channel and I do appreciate it. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing. All right, is it safe for your children to be in VR? Let's talk about it. That's been a controversial thing about putting kids in VR. Putting your children in VR at a young age. And it's a lot of talk about it. Some do, some don't. Hey, I have younger kids, 2 5-year-olds and a 7-year-old. Do I put them in VR? Hear me out. The first thing I want to do is talk about what Meta says. Meta says kids from 10 and up can be in VR. 10 and up. But are we going to listen to that? Probably not. We're going to put kids in VR at whatever age, how we feel that they're right for as parents. For me, I put my children in VR to see like whales. I let them see the ocean and how sharks and aquarium type thing, not a game. Or I let them see the stars and space like that. I did let them see that, which was kind of cool for them. They was like, they was all shocked and surprised. I held the headset on their head. They were standing right next to me. I let them look around, but I was totally in control. And maybe 2-3 minutes took it off. And that was enough for them. But for this video, I said, let me try to put them inside of a game. I never did that before, but as my thoughts for this video, I said, let me see what it is like. I'm gonna talk about some games that I could recommend for your children, but what I put them in. And the first one was First Encounters. It's a mixed reality game for the Quest 3, the Quest 3S. They're able to see their surroundings, so they're not blocked out from the world, and they're able to do something like easy. I did that, which was pretty shocking depending on which child I put in there, but I put them in, and the 7-year-old, he was okay with it at first until those little things got a little bit too close, and then he was like, yeah, I had enough. Same with my daughter. She was like, yeah, I had enough. It was too close. Yeah, that's too much. And that brings me to a topic. We have to teach them what's real and what's not. So if you're going to put your child in VR, teach them what's real. This is real right here, and this is not. What you're about to see in VR is not real. It's going to look real, but it's not real. So you got to keep hammering that in if you're going to put them in VR. This is what I learned from putting them in VR. Now, the next game, which is really safe and fun game that they all enjoyed, was Fruit Ninja. Fruit Ninja was just a slice and dice game. You got the swords and you chopping fruit, and you got the bomb that you don't supposed to hit. I put them in that, and they all enjoyed that. They had a blast. And I must say this all the time. Safety is key. Keep them safe. Make sure there's nothing around. Don't put them close to the TV, none of that. You stay right next to them while they're in VR so they don't walk away, because in Fruit Ninja, it's no mixed reality. So you got to make sure that they stay in the same spot. Like my little son, he was walking. I'm like, had to pull him back. He wanted to see what was down there, where these fruit was coming up from and what's over there. So I had to keep him close. I had to keep him safe because he don't know VR. And then again, he wasn't in that long, did one game and pulled them out, put another one in, one game. These are really quick games because they're on a time limit, like 2.5 minutes. And if you hit the bomb, it's gonna speed up time anyway. They was really good with Fruit Ninja. And that was really the only two that I actually put them in as a game. Now as experience, I put them in this game called Henry VR. Now this is an older title, but it's perfect for children's in VR. It's just like a hedgehog having a birthday party and he need friends. They was amazed by that. They just sat there. They was like, wow, and they're looking around. They're like, wow, this is great. So, and they understood the story, and I was able to talk to them because I had the headset cast to the TV so I can see what they're seeing. And they loved it. Putting them in experiences like that is really great for children. So I really highly recommend something like Henry. It's another experience I recommend called Evasion First Edition. And this is an older title too. It's a good, nice little children's story that they'd enjoy. So when you put them in experiences like that where they don't have to move and it's just like watching a show, but it's all around them, I recommend those. Other people recommend Samba de Amigo, which I can see that. They just got the shakers and they're moving, but they got to understand certain mechanics of that game, which they have to be a little bit older, I believe, to understand those mechanics. So maybe like an 8 or 9-year-old understand those mechanics, and then they can work with it that way. And there's something like Job Simulator where they ain't doing nothing but tossing stuff around. It's nothing that they have to really do. There's no point to it, just kind of having fun. It's like a sandbox mode. If they're a little bit older, 8, 9, then yeah, you could put them in something like that. But it was really interesting to see that. And when you put them in this VR and you decide this is what you want to do, have time limits. Don't just give them a headset and walk away. My recommendations anyway, just my opinion. In my opinion, I wouldn't just give them the headset, walk away. I would give them a time limit and I would stay there and just make sure they're safe. Because you gotta realize this is VR, this is a headset. If you're not watching what they're doing, they could be doing anything. That brings me to parent controls. You can set up parent controls where you have control over what they can buy, what they can download, what they can do. This is a perfect thing that Meta did. They enabled the parents to have total control over what the children are doing in there to a degree. If they're older, they might can get around it. For the most part, you can control that. So set up the parent control. It's easy to do. They got a whole walkthrough. There's multiple pages on how to set that up. And you can do it right from your app. You can do it from the web browser. Set up that account for your children so you are in control, not them. With the Quest, you can go anywhere. You can do anything. So if you don't have no control of what they're doing, then man, the possibilities of what they could be doing in VR, it'll blow your mind. And then you got developers. They are coming up with different ways for them to recognize, is it a kid in VR or is it an adult? They got this thing where before you get into like a certain club in VR chat or Horizon Worlds, that you gotta stretch your arms so wide to see if the kids can reach the other side. If they can reach that, that means, hey look, you got a long kid. Most kids can't reach that. That neglects them from getting in. They can't get in because they can't pass that, they can't pass that test. Developers are coming up with ways to stop children from getting in certain experiences. It's primary up to the parent. Always cast what they're doing to a TV or to your phone while they're in VR, so you can always kind of take a look at what they're doing. So it's things to do. As for me, I don't put them in VR. Like I said, just experienced those one times. I never, don't do games and stuff like that with them. But that's just me. I just wanted to bring this and let you know that it could be really safe for kids to be in VR as long as we are in control of what they're seeing and what they're doing, and we set the necessary things in place for them to have fun in this magical, exciting, fantastic thing that we call virtual reality. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.